All right, thank you for joining me on this drive today. We're going to take this beautiful 2016 Infiniti QX70 out for a little spin. One of my favorite all-time Infinitis, one of my favorite Infinitis, so much so that we have one in our family. I've had an FX37, which was originally what the QX70 was called. Then Infiniti kind of confused everyone, and in 2014 they revamped all their model names and they changed the FX series to the QX70. So I guess my FX37 is pretty unique because I only made it a year. Well, technically I guess a year, because they changed the QX70 the next year, but really the FX37 and the QX70 are exactly the same, aside from the name on the back. So we have this beautiful 2016 QX70. This is a clean Carfax vehicle from sunny California. Lots of service history at Infiniti, very low miles. 42,001 miles. This is a 2016 model. It's June of 2023. Most people average 10, 12, 15,000 miles a year. So this one has way below average miles. It's in beautiful shape and it's very nicely equipped with features. I'm a little jealous. It actually even has a little bit more features than mine. So we have the Deluxe Touring Package. The Deluxe Touring Package gives you these beautiful upgraded wheels on the outside. The wheels, the larger wheel and tire package really makes a dramatic difference in the look of the QX70. You have this beautiful upgraded wood trim. This one also has a heated and air conditioned front seat, so when you put the seats on the cooled setting, there's a little air conditioned unit. You can probably hear that fan going. That fan is blowing air conditioned air through the perforated holes in the seats, and it's kind of 80 degrees right now, getting muggy. It feels really nice to have those cooled seats on. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit just so we don't have too much ambient noise going on. This one also has a navigation system. We have a 360-degree round view camera, moonroof. We have this upgraded semi-inline leather seating, so you get nicer leather seating with the Deluxe Touring Package. And then we have the technology package. The technology package gives us adaptive cruise control. We have intelligent brake assist, which are really cool safety features. All right, let's take this one for a spin. I absolutely fell in love with the FX series. I've been with Infiniti since 2004, and it's now 2023 of June, so about 19 years I've been with Infiniti. And when I first walked into the Infiniti showroom back in 2004 at Infiniti of Boston, they had an FX45 in the showroom, and I absolutely fell in love with it. Back then, the FX45 was pretty revolutionary. You know, sport utility vehicles were basically truck-based, you know, vehicles that were good for going off-road. They were really utilitarian looking, but the idea of having a sport utility vehicle that offers sporty performance, that was a relatively new thing. We saw, you know, with the Porsche Cayenne, but in a lot of ways the FX series was quite groundbreaking in the way it looked. It did not look like a traditional SUV. It had this beautiful curvaceous body, and the QX70 continues that theme. So yeah, it just really struck me. I felt like I was in a cocoon, a beautiful interior. So 2 years ago, we took in a really nice FX37 on trade, and I was able to make one of my dream Infinitis come true by adding one to the family, and I absolutely love it. These are very, very reliable, built and assembled in Japan. You have amazing build quality. The 3.7 liter V6 in this thing is a fantastic engine, award-winning engine. I've seen examples of 200,000+ miles still running strong. You have maintenance-free timing chain, so you never need to worry about the cost replacement of timing belts. Fantastic engine, and it makes a lot of power, 325 horsepower. That's a lot of power. In fact, that's more power than the FX45 made when it first came out. The FX45 made 315 horsepower. There is a FX50, which has a 5-liter V8 making 390 horsepower, also available in the well, they called it the FX50, or they called it the FX37 5.0 versus they call it the QX70 5.0 versus the QX70 3.7. Those are really, really rare. I only maybe see one come into our store for sale maybe once every 2 or 3 years, and they don't last long. There's almost a cult-like following. People love that 5-liter 390 horsepower V8, but the V6 is fantastic, and I think in a lot of ways the V6 probably will be a little bit more durable, a little bit more reliable than the V8, but that's just my opinion. You know, parts and stuff are going to be a little easier to source for the V6, just because they made a lot more. They put this engine like in the G37, the Q60, the QX70. This engine, the 3.7 liter V6 was a very widely used engine in Infiniti products, and it was the same engine you find in a Nissan 370Z. And that kind of goes back to what's special about the QX70. We don't, today in 2023, Infiniti doesn't have a crossover SUV anything really like the QX70. Our QX50 and QX55 are based on a front-wheel drive platform, which is great for space and things like that. And they have a new variable compression turbocharged engine and a CVT transmission, which is great for fuel efficiency and things like that. These aren't the greatest on fuel. Around town you'll average about 15-16 miles per gallon. So if you're worried about fuel economy, the QX70 probably not the vehicle for you, because they're not the greatest on gas. And I think that's why Infiniti had to go to a CVT VC turbo engine, just because with the competition, this 3.7 averaging 15.5 miles per gallon just does not work for people in this day and time. But as you can see, this thing has no issue taking off, brisk acceleration. And going back to the platform, this is built on the same advanced front shipment platform as a Nissan 370Z. It shares its platform and some even suspension components as a 370Z. Also shares its platform with the G37, G35, and the Q50 and Q60. So this is built on a rural drive sports car platform. That's the reason why it's so fun to drive, because it's built on a rural drive platform. But you're wondering, well, this is all-wheel drive. How can it be on a rural drive platform? Yes, it's on a rural drive platform. You can get this. They were available in rear-wheel drive, but this one has what we call intelligent all-wheel drive. It's a rear-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. So under normal driving conditions, like right now, it's pretty much sending 100% of the power to the rear wheel. So if I get hard on the throttle, going around that corner, I can kind of feel the rear trying to kick out a little bit, but the traction stability control system quickly rein things in, and the all-wheel drive system will help keep things stabilized. But if you do like the sportiness of rural drive vehicles, having that rural drive biased all-wheel drive system is part of the secret sauce that makes this thing such a wonderful handling vehicle. So let's talk about the all-wheel drive system. A Tesla all-wheel drive. It stands for Advanced Total Traction Engineering System for All Terrain. This all-wheel drive system has a lot of sports car pedigree. It actually has racing pedigree. This all-wheel drive system was derived from an early version of the R32 Skyline. The R32 Skyline, also known as Godzilla, dominated in the racetrack in the Japanese touring car series. The R32 Skyline really did amazing, and the big reason for its success was its amazing all-wheel drive system. This Tesla all-wheel drive system was actually copied from the Porsche 959. The Porsche 959 was a supercar from the 80s. Porsche developed this 959 supercar for Group B rally racing. So in rally racing, you need to basically excel in all sorts of weather conditions, dirt, gravel, pavement, snow. So the Japanese engineers love to copy things, so they basically copied, in some ways, the 959 as an amazing all-wheel drive system, which was revolutionary back then. But the Japanese engineers, they sometimes they do like to copy the Germans, but a lot of times they might copy, but they'll improve on things. They might simplify things and make things a lot more reliable. And I think that's exactly what they did with this all-wheel drive system, because these things are very durable. We've been using these all-wheel drive systems in Infiniti products since the early 2000s, in the original FX series, the G35 all-wheel drive that came out in 2004. And I've been in Infiniti close to 20 years. I don't think I've ever seen one of these all-wheel drive systems go bad. It's a really cool all-wheel drive system. So the Japanese engineers, they wanted a 100% rural drive bias. And And that's exactly what this one does. So this has an electromagnetic differential. So it will send 100% of the power of the primary drive wheels to the rear wheels. But as soon as these rear wheels slip, in a matter of milliseconds, almost instantly it can send up to 50% of the vehicle's power to the front wheels. And it does amazing. I've driven my Infiniti and many Infinitis in all sorts of weather conditions in the snow. Does awesome in the snow. And it's absolutely joy to drive. Get this thing on a curvy road and it's a blast to drive. It's a lot of fun to drive. You have hardly any body roll. I mean, here's a corner right here. This thing is just powering through the corner, no body roll. You have hydraulic power steering. It's very confident, inspiring. You have a great traction stability control system to rein things in if you go too fast. Can't overcome stupidity, but does a great job keeping things nice and tidy, even in wet, slippery conditions. So we have that amazing all-wheel drive system, a Tesla all-wheel drive. On this QX70, an amazing 3.7 liter V6, an award-winning engine, and it's built and assembled in Japan. Not all Infinitis, not all Japanese brands these days are built in Japan, but the QX70 was. If you ever question if your Japanese car is made in Japan, just look at the VIN number. If it begins with a J, that means it was made in Japan. With my experience, it just seems like some of the most reliable, the best built Infinitis are made in Japan, and I think the QX70 is included, and that was part of the reasons why I sought out my FX37/QX70 when I bought it, just for the amazing reliability, amazing performance. I love the 3.7 liter V6, and I love the Tesla all-wheel drive system. So yeah, amazing vehicle. And hopefully I can publish this vehicle. These definitely proved to be very popular for us. They're hard to find. 2017 was the last year they made the QX70, and it was replaced by the redesigned QX50, which is a great product. But like I said, the new QX50 has more interior space, the latest and greatest in features. It has a really cool variable compression turbocharged four-cylinder engine. So if the latest in tech and features, safety features, and fuel efficiency is what you're looking for, then the QX50 is definitely, the new QX50 is definitely, right down your alley. But if you're looking for sportiness, like, if you're looking at a Porsche Macan or a BMW X5, or a Jaguar F-Pace, if you want that type of sportiness in your crossover SUV, the QX70 I think is definitely going to be right down your alley. It's an amazing vehicle. And yeah, the last video I tried doing on one, I did a driving video like this, but it sold before I even had a chance to publish and upload the video. That's just how popular these are. Hopefully I'll upload this one today, so I'll have a chance to get it published and stuff, but I don't think this one will last very long. Once I get the pictures and videos uploaded, I think someone will snap this one up. This is a really beautiful example, the nicest one we've had in a long time. Well, there we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today in this little drive. Hopefully it was informative to you, whether you're just looking for information, in general on the QX70, or if you're looking specifically at this lovely example. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you soon.